I walked into my own lake cabin and found it trashed beer cans, broken chairs, 100 teenagers blasting music like it was a nightclub. The ringleader, the HOA president's spoiled son, who sneered that the cabin belonged to the community. When I pushed back, he called 911 on me, completely unaware the chief of police was already on his way. Act 1. The Spark. My name's Jack Morrison. I'm 38, an IT engineer, and after my divorce I bought this old cabin by the lake, a place to start over, to breathe. My wife, Sam, was my fresh start too. She's patient. Funny, the kind of person who can calm a storm just by walking into a room. We thought Serenity Cove would be perfect, quiet, scenic, tucked away, but like every perfect neighborhood, it came with fine print, the HOA. And at the top of that food chain, Karen Fitzgerald. Karen is a force of nature, platinum blonde bob, pearl necklace, and a face that could turn a sunny day into a thunderstorm. She runs the HOA like a dictator, rules about mailbox fonts, lawn ornaments, even how long you can leave your trash can on the curb. And her husband, Rick, he's her enforcer, big guy, mean streak. The kind who thinks intimidation is a hobby. I should have seen it coming the day Rick stormed across my yard, pointing at the pink flamingo Sam had placed near the garden. That thing's tacky. Get rid of it, he growled. I laughed. It's my lawn, my bird, my rules. He leaned in close. Karen will hear about this. And she did. Within a week, I got 3 violation notices. One for the flamingo, one claiming my grass was too long, one saying my mailbox numbers weren't HOA-approved font. It was clear I'd been marked. Act. Escalation and the breaking point. At first, I tried to fight fair. I went to the HOA meeting, papers in hand, proof my grass was fine, that my mailbox matched the bylaws. But Karen just smiled thinly, shook her head, and said, "The board has already decided." That phrase, "already decided," was her weapon. No matter the facts, no matter the truth, her word was final. Then came the tree, a 50-year-old oak on my property. Strong, healthy, beautiful. I loved that tree, but I got a notice saying it was a hazard to the community walkway and had to be removed. I brought in an arborist expert report. Photos, the works. At the next meeting, I laid it all out. The tree was healthy, safe, no danger at all. Karen didn't even look at the report. She just tapped her gavel and said, "The tree goes." People laughed under their breaths. Some shook their heads, but nobody challenged her. That night, I sat on my porch staring at that oak, and for the first time, I felt beaten. Sam found me, sipping a beer in the dark. She touched my shoulder and whispered, "Maybe we should just sell. This isn't worth it." Her words cut me deeper than Karen's fines ever could, because I thought maybe she was right. Maybe I was stubborn. Maybe I was dragging us into a war we couldn't win. But then things turned ugly. I noticed strange charges in the HOA's monthly budget. Payments to Evergreen Landscaping. Thousands of dollars for community maintenance. Except Evergreen was cutting Karen's lawn, trimming her hedges, planting flowers in her yard. I confronted Rick one afternoon, waving the invoices in his face. "You're stealing from us," I said. His eyes narrowed. He stepped closer, real close. "You better stop digging. Jack, nice wife you've got. Be a shame if something happened when she drives to school in the morning." That was the moment everything changed. This wasn't about lawn flamingos anymore. It was about fear, and I wasn't about to let them scare my wife. Act 3. The climax. With help from my neighbor Uncle Marshall, an eccentric old man most people thought was just paranoid. I dug deeper. Turns out he wasn't crazy at all. He'd been tracking Karen's corruption for years, keeping a black ledger, payments, backroom deals, even whispers of selling off land to developers. One night, we slipped into Karen's own shed and found the ledger. Detailed notes, bribes, shell companies, proof she was robbing us blind. That's when Rick struck. It was midnight. Power cut out. I heard footsteps, then the crash of glass in my garage. When I ran out with a flashlight, Rick was there, crowbar in hand, gas can at his feet. "You should have kept your mouth shut," he snarled. He swung. I ducked, the crowbar clanging against the concrete. I hit him with the flashlight beam, blinding him just long enough to tackle him into the workbench. We wrestled, slipped in the spilled gas, until I managed to pin him down with a length of pipe across his chest. Neighbors' lights flicked on. Sirens wailed in the distance. When the cops arrived, Rick was on the ground, soaked in gasoline, screaming that I had attacked him. But the evidence, the crowbar, the cut wires, the ledger was all there. The next morning, the HOA meeting was standing room only. I walked in, black ledger under my arm. Karen tried to call order, banging her gavel, but the room drowned her out. I laid out everything: photos, invoices, recordings. Marshall stepped up, finally revealing the years of proof he'd kept hidden. When the cops in the back of the room cuffed Karen, her face went pale. She screamed it was all lies, that we'd forged everything, but nobody believed her anymore. The queen of the HOA was dethroned right there in front of her subjects. Closing line. Tyrants can rule with fear, but once the truth comes out, fear loses all its power.